If you were part of the 1% of people who watched my last video to the very end, how to get ahead of 99% of people, then you would have affirmed this statement to be true. Lone wolves never die. They might die young, they might die without warning, but truly they never die because their legacy and their path lives on. The path of the lone wolf is immortal. Because behind every lone wolf who walks their path in solitude, there's another one stepping forward to carry that torch. Alone. The lone wolf's strength is not in numbers or validation from others. It's in their ability to walk where few dare to tread, to embrace the stillness, the quiet, the questions that arise when no one else is there to distract you from yourself. What you do in your solitude makes you who you are. But let's be real. Being alone, truly alone, isn't easy. For many, it's terrifying. For others, it's unthinkable. It's not just physical solitude we're talking about here either. It's the kind of aloneness where you face yourself without a filter, without excuses, without running away. Rainer Maria Rilke, who wrote Letters to a Young Poet, suggests that it's essential to the human condition to be on one's own. To be on your very own is an essential state of your being. And for many, this is very difficult to do. But this is what makes you who you are. Rainer Maria Rilke, in Letters to a Young Poet, writes, "Therefore, dear sir, love your solitude and try to sing out with the pain it causes you. For those who are near you are far away. And this shows that the space around you is beginning to grow vast. Be happy about your growth, in which, of course, you can't take anyone with you, and be gentle with those who stay behind." These words speak to the reality of the lone wolf. To walk your path, to grow into your fullest version of yourself, you must embrace the pain of leaving others behind. It doesn't mean you stop loving them. It means you stop needing them to validate your journey. Rilke also reminds us, it is clear we must trust in what is difficult. Everything alive trusts in it. Everything in nature grows and defends itself in its own way, and is so characteristically itself and spontaneously seeks at all costs to be so. This is the very essence of the lone wolf spirit. But why does the lone wolf never die? Because it's a force, not a form. A lone wolf may leave this world, but their courage, their resilience, their defiance against conformity, that lives on. The lone wolf's path is not one of ego or fame. It's a journey of transformation, of breaking free from the matrix of expectations and limitations society places on us. It's about becoming the fullest, freest version of yourself. The spirit of the lone wolf is passed down like a whisper in the wild. It's in the stories we tell, the examples we leave behind, the inspiration that lights the fire in another lone wolf's heart. Even in death, the lone wolf teaches us one thing: to embrace who you are, even if it means walking alone. So I ask you, what are you doing in your solitude? Are you wasting it, or are you transforming? Because the lone wolf within you is waiting, and the path ahead, though solitary, is eternal. At the end of the day, we are all on our own. Try to avoid your aloneness. It never dies. It never goes away, which is why I say the lone wolf never dies. Have comfort in your aloneness, that as much as it is there for you, it's also there for everyone else. Of course, it comes back to the statement, we are born and we die alone. And thus the aloneness in everyone forever lives on. The lone wolf represents human consciousness. Consciousness never dies. The packs represent human doingness. The doing and doing is never ending, but eventually the doing and the doing will die. And if not then, the doing will be the cause of your dying. Not to mention the death of your consciousness. Go on and be a busybody. There is no space for consciousness to exist there, while simply being is where consciousness grows. And this is what the lone wolf knows. We must give space to consciousness. Consciousness does not grow in packs. Consciousness is killed in the pack because it is a process of assimilation. Consciousness thrives on its own. On its own is where it shines its brilliant mosaic patterns of possibilities. Within the lone wolf lifestyle, there lies endless choice, but within the pack is conformity, people-pleasing, codependency, and choiceless existence, where you will hear people say, I have no choice. I had no choice. I had to. The lone wolf never dies for someone else's choice, but their own.